Hello and welcome to episode number 151 of Week in Review. On this week's show, we'll take a look at the best of the fourth quarter and the best of the year from the movies and the games that released in 2020. We'll also look forward to this week's new releases and the streams happening over on twitch.tv/ShaunasaurusRex. Before we jump into the best of the fourth quarter and the best of 2020, I'd like to let you know that this is going to be the final episode of Week in Review. I've enjoyed doing it over the past 3 years. Hopefully you have enjoyed watching it over the past however long you've been watching. If you've been around since episode 1, thank you. If you've been around since episode 150, thank you. Sorry that it was a short ride, but I appreciate that you watched. In 2021, what I'd like to do is focus on the Twitch side of things, and what I'd like to do is I'd like to play longer games, stuff like Persona 5 or Ni no Kuni. I know those are PlayStation exclusive games, but just kind of work on a backlog that has games in it that I'm going to be playing for multiple weeks over the course of the game. I also want to do more stuff that involves like sort of sports, like seasons. A lot of times it can feel like I get towards the end of the week and I go like, oh shoot, like I really got to play something or watch something new, so I have content for Week in Review. And I think that this will help me feel more relaxed with it and just go like, okay, I want to play this game for the fourth time this week or the fourth time in 2 weeks, and I don't have to worry about like making additional content. I also feel like this show hasn't been its best over the last couple of months. It's been super games heavy, which is kind of just where things are both in the world, but I'm also not really going out of my way the way that I probably maybe even should be to watch new stuff. I just haven't been keeping up on that sort of thing. And then the limited edition items have been pretty few and far between. I think I've done a couple of them over the last few months. So I think the show this feels like the natural endpoint. Like, let's get through 2020, tell you what I enjoyed, and just kind of move into the new year, move with a different direction. I'll still be doing like limited edition items. I actually just bought a limited edition item today. So we'll be doing weird shows like, I was going to say games, but weird shows like Taste Test, where I'm trying limited edition things and that sort of stuff. What I would like to do, and in a very idealistic way, I would like to do individualized reviews. So if I find a cool movie or a cool game, just put that up whenever it is convenient or relevant. And even like bigger picture, what I'd like to do is talk about like series of games. So coming up, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I'm looking forward to in 2021 from a games perspective. And one of those games is Ratchet & Clank: A Rift Apart. And what I'd love to do is play all of the previous Ratchet & Clank games and have like a big video to put up and do like a kind of series retrospective. And I don't know how well that would work within the format of this show. And I also feel like I can work on that at like chunks of time. I don't necessarily have to hit it every single week. I can take weeks off and do different things. And I think that it'll just allow for more flexibility with the Twitch streams and the games that I can do. I think it'll hopefully make the reviews and the content that I do choose to like edit and put up on YouTube, I think hopefully it'll make them better. That would be the ultimate goal. But I can't thank you enough for watching this show. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. Again, I've had a really good time doing it and kind of pushing myself creatively and pushing myself to hit deadlines, and I haven't been super great about that over the last couple of months. For that, I do apologize, and this one's actually going up late as well. But I just feel like this is the right time to kind of move on and go like, okay, cool, I did that show. I did 151 of them, just like the original gen Pokemon, if you include Mewtwo or whatever. And I thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. I'm going to say that a bunch because I don't know what else to say. It just means a lot that you took time out of your schedule to watch this show. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. We have the best of the fourth quarter and the best of the year coming right up for you. So it is that time of year. It is time to count down the best of the fourth quarter and the best of 2020 overall. I wrote best of fourth quarter 2021. Apparently I'm a time traveler this morning. We're going to start on the movie side because that is the easy side to do. It's been the easy side all year long. We'll start with a recap of the standings for the third quarter, and it was number 1, Just Mercy, 2, Extraordinary, 3, The Invisible Man, 4, Birds of Prey. I did not actually number them, I just listed movies. That's been the case all year long as far as the movies are concerned. These are 4 movies that I liked, and they all have kind of weird caveats to them, though Just Mercy has been the one like mainstay at number 1. What I was looking forward to was nothing. I specifically did not pay attention to anything. I kind of just let it happen. We got Wonder Woman and Soul, and those were probably the 2 big movies. Those were big movies because they were available on streaming platforms day and date that they were in theaters. Though I did watch one movie this quarter, and that was Soul. I enjoyed Soul. It was not my favorite Pixar movie by any stretch, but I still think it's a very good movie. It's a brisk hour and 40 minutes that I enjoyed. Hopefully when theaters are open and things are back to normal, maybe they'll be playing that in theaters and I can catch it there, rewatch it, and maybe it'll hit a little bit different. I seem to have trouble just watching stuff at home. I just like a lot of distractions. What I like about the theater experience is I sit down, the lights go off, I turn my phone off, and I just focus in on the film, and that's the only thing I'm paying attention to. So hopefully, maybe that one could be a little bit better with a second viewing, but still great for the first time around. And that will actually nicely fill out the movies to an odd number, but like round in a weird way, a number of 5. So we'll have Just Mercy at number 1, Extraordinary at number 2, Birds of Prey at number 3. I flipped that because I like what Birds of Prey does more after what I dislike of happens. I really like Birds of Prey. It has such a rough start, but it redeems itself. To me, it redeems itself in the end, and I had so much fun with it that I the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, that's number 3. Invisible Man is number 4, a great movie, a very like socially aware movie, like very timely movie. Great. Really don't like that ending. It took me a long time to pinpoint exactly why I didn't like the ending, but I don't like the ending. It's still a great movie, still a very tense, well done, like thriller horror, psychological horror movie. But I would just barely inch Birds of Prey up above Invisible Man because I just like weirdly it's like more fondly remember like, oh man, I really liked Birds of Prey was like a really big surprise, whereas Invisible Man was a big surprise sort of thing. And then last but not least is Soul. We just talked about it. Great movie, deserving of the number 5 spot. Again, super incomplete list that is missing a lot. And I feel like this I'm going to spend a lot of January 2021 is just figuring out what in the world I missed last year. Moving over to the far more crowded games side, I had actually listed 10 games, which I was kind of surprised in my previous rankings. Number 1, Fall Guys. Number 2, Animal Crossing New Horizons. Number 3, Arcade Spirits. Number 4, Hunt Down. Number 5, A Fold Apart. Number 6, Tell Me Why. Number 7, Paper Mario The Origami King. Number 8, Ooblets. Number 9, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2. And number 10, Coffee Talk. That's a good list of games. That's a solid list. I also pointed out 9 games that I was looking forward to. Number 1 was Scourgebringer. Played it. I think I played 4 parts of it, 4 like chunks of the game. Played it, loved it. Big fan of that game. We'll probably hear more about that in just a moment. Number 2 was Cris Tales. That game got delayed into 2021, so obviously couldn't play it. Number 3, Bugsnax. Played it, loved it. I'm sure we'll hear more about that one in just a moment. Ghost Runner was number 4, not played, but I did recently buy it on sale, so I'll be getting to it soon. Number 5 was Dark Pictures, A Little Hope. Played, not great. Didn't love it, but not terrible. It has a really bad ending, but it was fine. Number 6 was Yestermorrow. Played, big fan of this game. We'll probably hear more about that in just a moment. Number 6 was Dirt 5. I also played this as well. I played the first chapter. I think I played about 3 hours of it, 2 or 3 hours of it. It's exactly what I want from Dirt. It's a good game. It's a weird game, but it's a good game. Number 8. Oh boy. I was looking forward to Cyberpunk 2077, and in my notes I just wrote, wow, in all the wrong ways. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. And number 9 was Spider-Man Miles Morales, another game that I bought and didn't play. That was the game that was least likely to get played because I wanted to play through Spider-Man before playing Miles Morales. Still is the case. Haven't played either of them, though hopefully I'll get to them soon. So that brings us to what did I play or what did I enjoy? What is the best of the fourth quarter? Number 1, Bugsnax. Huge fan of that game. I absolutely adore and love Bugsnax. It is a fantastic game. It is easily my favorite game of the quarter. It is absolutely in contention for my favorite game of the year. I love Bugsnax so very much. Number 2 was Scourgebringer. I didn't write these in any order, but whatever. They're actually in alphabetical order. Okay, whatever. Anyway, next is Scourgebringer. Fantastic game. I fell off of it pretty hard. I think it was just because I was playing other things, or it was very crowded. I was watching the video that I did for the best of the third quarter, and I did note that all of these games came out within about a month. I think Cyberpunk was still scheduled for November at the time. It did get delayed to December, but there was a ton of stuff going on all at once. So I did fall off of Scourgebringer pretty hard, but still a huge fan of it, and I would love to get back to it. Number 3, or third, alphabetically, is Yestermorrow. This was the first game that I finished in 2021. Granted, I started it last year. And I played this game in 4 chunks. I really enjoyed this game. Like I said, big fan of it. I don't think it's perfect. I think it has some problems, especially in the last boss battle. There were a couple of times where it feels like the game should be moving on to its next phase, and it should remove everything that's going to hit you, but sometimes you'll take extra shots, and that irked me. The game knew how to push my buttons and drive me nuts. It felt like a tough, challenging platformer. It felt good when you got through it, but there were also times where it's just I am slamming my head against the wall, and I am very irritated, and I want to slam my controller into the floor. And that was definitely during the last boss battle. But I think that game is incredibly well designed. I love the animation. I love the style. I like the story. I think it's just so cool. And I am a huge, huge fan of Yestermorrow. And then I ended up picking out 5 games that I wanted to give a shout out. I wrote that I didn't play enough, but they're still great, even though one of them I beat. So I didn't write that very well. Or I wrote 3 of them, and then I realized I could put 2 more. The first game that I want to shout out is Star Renegades. I played a couple hours of this game. I liked what it was doing. I just didn't go back to it. Nothing against it. It was just a game that I was I would like to, but I just didn't. The next 2 I recently started, Calico and Fogs. Both of them are very cute, very chill, calm games. I'm a big fan of them. Calico, you run a cat cafe, and you're trying to build that up. It has a very Stardew Valley vibe where you take over your aunts or relatives. In this case, I believe it's your aunts. You take over a cafe and you're trying to build it up. You meet and talk to all the residents of the town. You help them with tasks. It has a gorgeous art style and color palette. I think it's fantastic. It is super chill, super relaxing, awesome game, and awesome to play after Yestermorrow when you want to just pummel the controller into the ground. You play Calico, you ride a cat, you ride Pudgems, and you're oh god, this is so serene and nice. Has a great soundtrack. Calico is a very good game. Fogs is a puzzle-based game. I mentioned it a couple of times. It's you play as a double-headed dog, where it's kind of like Cat Dog, if you remember that show from the 90s. It's that, but it's a puzzle game. Really well designed, super clever game. I love the design of the levels. I think they're very interesting and intricate, and I think it's very understandable what you're trying to do. I played the first couple of hours of it. I played the tutorial level and then the 3 levels in the sleep world, and I was all about it. Next up is Dirt 5. Like I was saying, it's a weird game, but a good game. It's what I want from a Dirt game, even though it's kind of missing part of what makes a Dirt game, but the Dirt game that I'm missing is available elsewhere. It's really weird, but what it does is gives you awesome driving, beautiful graphics, and a lot of fun to play. It just is a game that clicks with me, and a game that I enjoy. And then last but not least, which this game's going to throw off the whole didn't play enough, still great, Twin Mirror. I just want to give that a shout out. I really enjoyed my time with it. Probably actually could have put it in the 4th spot of games that I really enjoyed this quarter, but a short 7-hour experience that I had a good time with. Had some cool ideas. Didn't flesh all of them out necessarily, but the main main mystery and what you're trying to solve was engaging enough for me throughout that I was very easily pulled through and still, intrigued with what was going on. Had some cool stuff with the dream space or whatever they called it. A good game that I really liked, and I wanted to just give a shout out to. So that leads us to our big final list. What is the best game of the year? It's going to be bright. It's going to be colorful. And I'm going to go with Bugsnax. Bugsnax, number one, followed immediately behind Fall Guys. I really liked Bugsnax and what it was doing. I thought it was super cute and clever and fun. Fall Guys, still great. Jumped back in the third season. Losing a crown to the last second is still just as heartbreaking as it always has been. Number three, I'm going to throw Scourgebringer all the way up there. Even though I kind of fell off of it, I was a huge fan of that game. I love the way that game moves and the way the combat works, and I just think it's awesome. Number four, we'll go with Animal Crossing New Horizons. Number five, Arcade Spirits. Number six, Hunt Down. Number seven, that's where we'll throw Yestermorrow in. Yestermorrow, again, a great game. Really, really big fan of it. Number 8 is going to be A Full Depart. Number 9, Tell Me Why. And rounding out the top 10 games of the year, Paper Mario, The Origami King, which I both did not finish and I never really talked about on this show unless it was in the best of the quarter. So there you have it. Those are my 10 favorite games of 2020. What were your 10 favorite games of 2020? You can let me know down in the comments below. 2020 was a super great year for video games, and I played a lot of them and I enjoyed a lot of them. And to be able to talk about that many games, even in this kind of like shortened format of like what I was looking forward to and still having thoughts on them, and games that I loved and honorable mentions, and it's a good list. I am happy with this list, and I am proud of the number of games that I played. Didn't finish all of them, actually finished very few of them, but still had a really great time playing a ginormous number of video games this year. Oh, and I almost forgot. What's next for video games? Because I'm not going to be doing Week in Review on a weekly basis, I just picked 5 games that are supposed to come out sometime in the year 2021. Number 1, Halo Infinite. Super hyped for that game. Should have been out last year, or was scheduled to be out last year. They delayed it. I hope that the release date is November 15th, 2021. That would be the exact day of the 20th anniversary of Halo Combat Evolved. Please, I know it's a Monday. I get that. Make it happen, Microsoft. For the love of God, please. Just do it. Number 2, Ratchet and Clank A Rift Apart. I love the Ratchet and Clank series. I would actually like to play all of the Ratchet and Clank games before Rift Apart. It's going to depend on when Rift Apart comes out. It'll also depend on if I can get a PlayStation 5 at that point. Just even being able to find one would be a miracle in and of itself. But Ratchet and Clank looks beautiful, super excited about it. And then another PlayStation 5 exclusive game, Deathloop. I have loved this. Has been a Sean-ass game for a long time. Ever since that initial trailer came out, I've been all over it. I've been super into it, and I can't wait to play it. Again, that's going to be like PS5 availability dependent. Hopefully I can get my hands on one when that comes out. I believe that's scheduled for May. I think that's the only game on this list that actually has a firm release date. I just realized. But I'm really excited about Deathloop. I think it's a really cool concept, and a really great style. Man, Deathloop. God, and the trailers are like very like 70s. Oh God, oh man. I love it. Number 4, Cris Tales. This was a game that I was super excited about last quarter, but got delayed. Hopefully it hits sometime in 2021. I am very excited about it. And then last but not least, we have Bus Simulator 21. That's right. Bus Simulator is back. I'm just about to finish the regular Bus Simulator, Bus Simulator 18, that is out on the Xbox One. And they have announced that there's going to be a Bus Simulator out in 2021. So there you have it. 5 Sean-ass games, and I am looking forward to a couple of new games from franchises that I love in Halo and Ratchet and Clank. A game where you drive a bus, and it's going to be a double-decker bus, aka the best bus. Hell yeah. A game that is very Paper Mario-y in Cris Tales, and then a game that just has a super cool aesthetic that has me very intrigued from its concept in Deathloop. 2021 is going to hopefully be another great year for games, and I'm sure there will be a plethora of indie titles to make it an even more exciting year. Finally, on this week's show, we'll take a look at the week's new releases. There's nothing of note anywhere, no games or anything that were super interesting. It's the first week of January. It's usually going to be pretty slow, so we'll just move on to the streams over on twitch.tv/ShaunosaurusRex. And I have 5 streams for you this week, with Week in Review ending. I'm going to be substituting the time that I would take to make that show, and I'm going to do an extra stream on Tuesday nights. So new stream schedule is the same 4 regular days that I've been doing: Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and Monday at their regular times, 2 p.m. and then 3:30 p.m. on Sunday and Monday. But Tuesday at about 3 p.m., we're going to be doing a sports night stream that I would like to do because I enjoy playing sports games, but I also feel like I don't do a super great job of putting them in spots that make sense. So what I want to do is I just want to dedicate a whole night where it's like, hey, if you like sports, come watch some sports. If you don't like sports, this is the stream to skip. Like, that's totally fine with me. But Thursday, we're going to be continuing Grab Bag. We'll be doing episodes 3 and 4 of the 3rd season. We have not been off to the hottest start. We have had a rollerblading game, and we have had a Tom Clancy game that is absolutely terrible. So we'll see what the Grab Bag holds for the next couple of episodes. After that, we're going to continue Calico, which is a game that I started last week. Really enjoying that, and I'm excited to continue it. I think what I'm going to do is probably just try and get to like the credits of that game. I don't know where the end, quote unquote, is going to be of that, but I'm having a good time. I want to unlock all the areas and meet all the characters and do all that sort of stuff. So I'm excited about that. I'm not 100% sure what the stream on Friday is going to be. I'm debating between a couple of ideas. I might continue Fogs. I might actually start Crash Bandicoot 1 because I was playing that the other day and I was like, this is good. This game is good and I like this game. Can I beat this game? So that could be a good time. Could be like Fall Guys or something random that just happens to pique my interest that day. So I don't really know what is going to be happening on Friday. But Sunday, we will be finally getting the final 75 gamer score in Bus Simulator. I believe it's 2 missions, maybe 3 missions left in that game, and we should be unlocking that final gamer score, and then there'll be a new series coming in the Sunday afterwards. So I'm very excited. I can't wait. I realized after I ended the stream on Sunday that I kept referring to it as part 8 when it was in fact part number 9, and I was driving myself crazy with it because I'm like, this doesn't make sense mathematically, and I was like, yeah, it's because it's the wrong part. You think this is part 8. It's not that. I don't understand why you're confused. It's your own content. Why are you so confused? Anyway, off track. Back on track. For Monday, we're going to be doing Mystery Bag Monday number 13. Please go over to twitter.com/ShaunosaurusRex and vote for PlayStation 1. We need PlayStation 1 to win so I can get the Scorpion King game that I bought from eBay so that can arrive in time so we can experience the Scorpion King together. So please vote PlayStation 1. And then Tuesday night, starting again at 3 p.m. Pacific time, is going to be a sports night. It'll be Washington State Dynasty Football, NBA 2K21 My League 1 minute quarter, that season that I'm doing. And it should be a good time. I'd like to thank you so much for watching any of the episodes of Week in Review. If you've watched any of them, there are 151 of them. If you've commented or liked them or tweeted them or retweeted them or shared them anywhere, thank you so very much for doing that. I hope it has been joyful for you. I hope you've enjoyed the content. I am very appreciative of all of the views that it gets and all of the watch time and all that stuff. It means a lot to me that you take time out of your day or week to watch this show, to listen to this nerd ramble on about who good Lord knows what, Pop-Tarts, Mountain Dew, indie movies, and indie games. Thank you so much for watching the show. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Obviously, I'm not going anywhere. There'll still be daily uploads here on YouTube. You can catch me over on twitch.tv/ShaunosaurusRex doing all kinds of different stuff. I'm sure there'll be a bunch of random videos that go up here. But just, yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll see you around.